G'day, 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 you absolute bunch of bloody legends. I'll lose a bum back on your little rectangles with some high quality, no unscripted, single take, end-to-end retro computing content. You'll see the channel just a little bit different than before, and that's because we are now, this is basically a test of the streaming setup. I'm actually streaming this live, but it's basically to record it to the cloud. If you're watching this directly live streaming, well on you. That wasn't planned. I didn't announce you. Not sure why you're watching random streams in the middle of the afternoon on a Thursday, but hey ho. So, this is the third video in a series about the amazing, heartbreaking roadside rescue. So I picked up that there computer, which is on your screen now, on the side of the roads a few months ago, fixed it up. That was video 1. And in video 2, we looked a little bit at the hardware, and this is video 3, where we're going to look at the software. So without further ado, and that's why things look different, because since I'm streaming, you know, the ultimate goal is to now go from here and stream directly from this 25, 30-year-old hardware, retro gaming, in streaming, in competition with all of the modern stuff. So that's why I've switched from recording to streaming software. This is Open Broadcast Studio, OBS, which I'm currently trying to split via Restream, so it's streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Not sure if it's working. And yeah, this is the laptop view, and what does that background look like? Huh? Pretty impressive. So let me switch to that other monitor. Right, over here we have an extra cam just pointing at the screen, and we can show you that a little bit. So yep, there is an actual PC down here, it's running, right, and here's the actual screen. You can see it a little bit there, the thing, yep, there, it's an actual screen running DOS, and we have this little switch over here, which I might get into later or at some other time. So, and the other thing which you're not seeing here is that I have, oops, how did that happen? I also have a little foot switch here, which allows me to switch the cameras back and forth. And I've just realized I've got a mistake here on this thing. I want to change that. That's what happens when you do it live. So this is going to be our default setup. I'm on this monitor, which is plugged into the PC, and all I'm seeing, like you just saw, is the DOS window. I don't actually see the streaming thing that's over here on my streaming laptop. Right, and it goes from the PC, it goes onto this screen. I've got a splitter which peels off a copy of the video signal, goes into an upscaler, into a USB, which is being captured here by the software. And I have my little foot switch here, which allows me to switch from the various cameras, which is kind of neat. I like that. All right, let's go through a boot cycle. So yeah, software of a 25-year-old piece of hardware. This is the actual content. This is why you're here. And the boot, there we go. He's counting up the memory. You see from the date of the BIOS that the mainboard is 98. It's telling me it's a Pentium MMX at 200 megahertz with 64 megs of RAM, which is a lot of RAM. It's not a lot of Pentium. And every time it switches video mode, you'll go there. So now what you're seeing is FreeDOS booting up. This is FreeDOS asking me what kind of RAM I would like. Yeah, we're just going to choose the default. It's installing a mouse here. It's searching for a for a DVD CD driver. Now it's installing the packet driver, and this last thing here is for the sound card. And here we are, CLS C : greater than. That is when I first touched any DOS-based technology, which in my case is all the way back to a genuine IBM PC 8086 processor, or 8088. Those were the date, 8-bit. Here we're at, this is 16-bit, I guess? Whatever. So, but this is what it happened. And what we're looking at here is FreeDOS, which is an open source, completely free clone of MS-DOS, and I'm very impressed. It works very well. It has a few neat features, like it remembers your input. So with the upper arrow, you can go to previous commands. It's got an editor, built-in edit, like when I started MS-DOS, didn't have that. So you have this very rich editor with very intuitive commands right there. And to install it was fundamentally easy. I showed on the first video, link link in the description below, how I'm not using a real hard disk. I'm using an IDE to SD card converter just because it's easy, and I tried forever to flash an image on that little SD card which would boot, and it wasn't possible. If somebody knows the trick, let me know down in the description text below. So in the end, I actually had to get an older PC, but which was not as old as this one, which had still a CD burner in it. Some people will know what that is. Put FreeDOS image over there via USB stick, or it was via USB stick. Burn the image. Then I had to take the CD drive out because I only had one working one. Mount it in this computer. Boot FreeDOS from the CD-ROM because this computer doesn't have USB, and then it booted instantly and said, "Hey, you want to install it to your hard disk?" It's not a hard disk, it's an SD card, and then it installed all of this stuff. So let's look at FreeDOS here. FreeDOS comes with a bunch of software already pre-installed, which is kind of neat. And let's dig into it. So there at the bottom we have some files which are a bit unusual if you know DOS, but it's just because it's FreeDOS. So the first one we're going to look at is FDAuto, FreeDOS Auto. So this in the olden days, in the real olden days, would have been called the autoexec.bat file. It's a batch file which gets run every time the operating system starts. So you put commands in there to load drivers and whatever. There's also an fdconfig.sys. That's not a script file, that's just a configuration file. We might look into that, but that one was back cryptic 25 years ago. It's still cryptic now. But the FDAuto points us at some very interesting things. So this came with, as I installed FreeDOS, it installed this, and I already edited just a little bit. So a path command, if you know from Linux, is basically a list of subfolders, subdirectories, where the computer will look for files, to execute files. So what I did here, I added the bat file because I have created a few batch files to make navigation easier, and by adding this to the path, it means that I can type those batch file commands anywhere and they will execute. All of this stuff here, I don't know what it is. Next one I actually changed was Blaster. So this thing had a sound card. When we did the hardware video, it wasn't working yet, but I got lucky because the sound card is a Compaq one. Compaq used to be a really big name in computers, and then they were mismanaged and went bankrupt. And so this sound card, proper brand name one with a I think it was a 1868 chip for which it was still possible to find drivers. So this is basically setting a variable which tells programs which are running that the Sound Blaster is at memory address hexadecimal A for address 220, hex 220, that it's on interrupt 5, that it's on DMA channel 1, and I can't even remember what these others are. Then we kept going. Let's see, what else did I have? Here is CT mouse, so that's a mouse driver, because remember I got this cool little mouse here with a ball in the bottom. Apart from the monitor and the hard disk, this is like real hardware. Look, the mouse actually works here, I can select. So even though there's no Windows or anything, you have the first signs of Windows. So the mouse driver just picks this up and does the enablement. Here's the support for a 386. And then here we started adding a few bits and bobs there. So here's where you select what keyboard you want. In my case, I have a Greek keyboard, it's actually a German one. There, for some reason, it's loading CT mouse again. And here are some other additional things which I had to add. This was the killer one here. LH, by the way, means load high. So I could have just run this driver, a COM file, or drivers are often COM files. I could have just run that by doing it as load high. It will load it into the higher memory above 640K or above 1 megabyte, which is saving that special low memory for the older programs. So with this, this is the driver for the network card. So as you remember from my first video, I actually bought a network card off a guy down the road. It was still shrink wrapped from 20 plus years ago, and because of that, it still had the CD-ROM in it, which had the driver. Without that, I would not have gotten probably this network card to work. Then this one here is another one I added, mtcp config. So this is a variable in FreeDOS which has to be set, and you point that at this one. tcp.config, which we'll look at in a moment, and that basically tells the network card what your network configuration is in a nutshell. Then down here I have a little bit of an unfortunate, but I had to do it this way. So I'm going into a subdirectory. Remember I told you the number of the sound card? The sound card is a 1868 sound card. Well, I go to that folder and start this batch file go.bat, which installs the audio drivers. And then there's just some rubbish at the end. So Alt-F-X. That's how we run. Let's see, what else do we have in interesting software in here? So we're going to go first to the MTCP folder. So this is a TCP IP networking stack which comes together with FreeDOS. I think it's another volunteer who developed this. It's important to understand that MS-DOS was a single instance operating system. It had no concept of multi-user, no concept of multitasking, anything like that, and no concept of network, at least natively. So FreeDOS is a rebuild of MS-DOS, and MTCP is a networking stack which runs on FreeDOS. So we'll go into that folder, various functions in there, and the interesting one for us is this edit TCP. Another thing which FreeDOS has is tab completion. You type up a command, you hit tab, and it just finds the nearest match. That did not exist back in MS-DOS days. I think it's borrowed from Linux, and crikey, it's very helpful to have this. So tcp.config, here it is. And if we go down there, there's a lot of things, but ultimately all it's interested in is somewhere down here. It says this is my IP address in the network, this is the domain, netmask, default gateway, and a lease time of the DHCP. So nothing special, but yeah, that's why you need to set that global variable so that when the driver fires up, it knows what network to connect to. It's that simple. There's also a way, I'm not going to do it now because it messes it up, there's a DHCP command to find your IP address, but when you run that DHCP command, all it's actually doing, it's doing the whole DHCP thing, looking for a DHCP server, requesting an IP address and all of the good stuff, but then it actually writes the results into that TCP config file, which we just saw, right? So those lines at the bottom were not written by me, they were actually written by the THCP program. And if we look in here, what do we have? We have a ping command. Let's ping 8.8.8.8. And we have, 3.4, 2.55 milliseconds. That's pretty impressive. So what does that mean? It means that this 25-year-old hunk of junk is connected to the internet, which is kind of scary because this is, wow, is this a security vulnerability? Now, it shouldn't be too bad because the way this MTCP stack works, again, no multitasking, it's only active when some of the network programs are running. So if I were to ping this machine now from somewhere else, I wouldn't get a response because the TCP IP stack isn't active. So I have a ping. And what I also have, if I can remember where it was, there we go. Microweb. And here we go. There you saw those colored lines. So this is a DOS-based browser, basically text only, but it will support a mouse. I don't think it loads graphics. So let's see. Google.com. It doesn't do HTTPS, it doesn't show pictures, but we are actually able to go in here, and we go, loser bum, will it find us? No, it's looking for Luzern. No, we want loser bum, show me loser bum. So yeah, it's got the shop, it's got my spread shop, it's got the YouTube channel. Now I'm going to try to go to the YouTube channel, and then it says HTTPS unsupported because like the encryption which goes with HTTPS, which just blow the mind of this computer, can't do it. I wonder what this visit site via FrogFind is. Maybe that's a way to kind of proxy it or something. Yay, we're on the loser bum YouTube site now. Oh, hang on, and go. Yeah. But because YouTube is all graphics and things like that and huge, it's probably not going to render the place correctly. So not only are we pinging on a 25-year-old machine, we are also browsing the web a little bit on a 25-year-old machine. Cool, huh? And you hit escape and you're straight back out. right? And every time that those colored stripes you're seeing, it's when I switch from a graphical application to a text application, it's changing video modes, and the little USB to video to USB converter has to catch up. That's why you're seeing those stripes. So that's TCP, and then of course there is. Let me see. Did I have these here? Where did I put them? I had some text files here. Hang on. Ah, here we go. Mud.txt. Yeah, let's try to connect to the old StickMud. So it's stickmud.com 7680. So telnet stickmud.com 7680. That's the port. Boom, and we're in with color. Visit. We're just going to use a visit because that's for a future video. And it's Asimir code AZF6. So this is an anti-spam measure, I guess. So that's hub. And it looks like I'm in. Look. North. Yay! It's working! How cool is that? I am mudding, and this is what muds looked like when we started, right? That's how it looked. Yeah, so I have some challenges here. The Telnet client is very rudimentary. You see it's got some weird displays and things like that, and when I type something, it doesn't actually echo to what I'm typing, which is a little bit annoying. What's more annoying is like once I'm actually mudding and want to play north, south, east, west, and whatever, I have to type N, enter, south, enter, west, W, enter to navigate. But I'm going to try to actually solve that. So I'll type quit, and I'm out, I'm throw out. But hey, we're browsing, we're pinging, we're mudding on 20-year-old, 25-year-old hardware. And not only that, we're streaming over to that screen over there and to everybody else. Currently, the comments aren't enabled. I don't even know if this is going out to Twitch. It wasn't really, maybe last time. We'll find a way for you to comment back once we get into real streaming because this is a recording. There's one thing I have up here now. I think it's here. I think I kept it in root on purpose, which is that the one? Nope, that's not the one. Oh, I'm gonna have to find it. I can't remember where I put it. Maybe I put it in TCP. So I'll explain what I'll do, and next time when we're streaming the mud, I'll explain what is I'll show how it's actually happening. But I found this little program, which is a so-called TSR, Terminate and Stay Resident. That was the great-great-grandfather of multitasking under DOS, which basically allows you to remap your keyboard, right? So it sits in memory, it takes up a little bit of memory, and anytime you press a key, it looks, is this a key which I'm supposed to be remapping? If not, it'll just pass the key press through. If it is, then it will eat your key press and replace it with something else. And so through some setups, which I still have to do, I can then map my numeric keypad keys to N, enter, west, enter, east, enter, and things like that, so we can navigate more quickly. So that's already a good start. The next one, which we're going to do, because we are totally retro, is to help with mudding. Just mudding purely with Telnet, even with that little keyboard thing, is going to be brutal. That's just not going to be fun. So what I has done, and I need to check because I can't remember the address. This might not work. Apologies in advance. Yep, there we are. So I've got a Raspberry Pi down here, right? Later on I can show you on the camera on another thing, and I'm just going to log into that. Oh no, wrong password. Hi. Yep, now I'm in, and what I have here is, let me see, do I have, how do I play this? TinT++? Tintin. There we go. On this Raspberry Pi, I've managed to install Tintin. Tintin is a really old school mud client. right? And what that means is that it has a scripting language built in, it has triggers, it has all the stuff which you need to mud. So that's what we're doing. We're going from our crummy DOS Telnet client to a Linux box, Raspberry Pi in this case. There we're running Tintin, and that's where our scripts will be. And so that's what we're going to be doing. This is really valid, I believe, because back then that's what would happen, is that you had internet at home with dial-up, which we may or may not get into one day, and then from the dial-up you could go straight to the mud, but you had the problem that there were very limited DOS mudding clients, or you knew somebody who had an account on at a university, usually at a college, or you had your own account. You could then via telnet into that Unix box, and on that Unix box you'd have Tintin, and from Tintin you'd get to the mud. So we really are reproducing, with the exception of the analog modem, the entire chain all the way to the mud. Now, let's see, hash session. Oh no, hang on. Did I have a? No, I didn't have one for StickMud, I guess. Session stickmud.com 7680. And we're in. Visit. We're in StickMud, and you can already see how it's the Tintin is tidying up some of the characters just a little bit, and it's showing me what I'm typing, right? That's why I need the Tintin. Why does he do that? Let's try that again. P2A7. There we go, and we're in. Look, see, it's already looking better than when we're telnetting directly. This is why we have Tintin. So Tintin is cool. And it's asking very things. So look at Tim. Will it do that for us? Tim looks to be busy. I think that's Tim from the Monty Python. We'll get, now that we're doing this and doing the live thing, one day we will do live streaming of mudding for sure, and I will announce it on the Mud Discord, probably on the StickMud Discord, and then people can help and people can criticize and insult me and all of that good stuff. Let's get out of here. And is that how I get here? And we're out of, so the quit was getting out of the mud, the hash end was getting out of Tintin, exit is getting out of the Raspberry Pi, which closed the connection, which closed the telnet. Last but not least, why are you here? Why are we streaming? Why aren't we on Twitch? Because of games, right? So the FreeDOS comes with a bunch of games already pre-installed. Here are some of them: Bolitaire and Boom, and things like that. So Bolitaire is a Solitaire clone, Boom is a Doom clone, which we'll get into. Actually, maybe we'll try the Doom. Does the Boom work? Let's see the Boom. Hello, Boomer. Let's see the... And you hear the sound card's working. That's actually another reason I have this monitor over here, this guy on the right-hand side here. Hang on, I'll switch to him, right? So, because he's like showing you that, yep, this is really running on the screen. That's the screen that I see. And I'm hoping that the microphone from this little webcam is picking up the audio from my speakers here, because I wasn't able to get that audio directly into the laptop. Not sure why. So, new game. First episode, please don't kill me. And here we are, the old Doom first FPS shooter. Control is shoot. There is no jump on this. It's voxel based. Space, I think, activates buttons. Yeah, something like that. That might open door. And it has the music. Adlib, 8-bit, with very few things. We'll talk about the music at the moment. Here we are in Doom. How do we strafe? Z and X. Yes, we strafe in Z and X. Amazing. Yeah? That, none of your 60 FPS here. This is what started it all. This is the great granddaddy. I remember when this came out, it blew our minds. There's absolutely no other way of saying it. And this is a clone. I'm going to see if I can find the original one. So anyway, we have Doom. We have Muds. Right? We have everything. Thanks for playing. We have, and what else do we have? And this is going to be the, so I'm going to bring it to a close because that was the introduction to the software. Next time we will actually properly be streaming, and that means long form streaming. You notice from the speed I'm talking, this is the old school Loser Bum videos where I'm still talking very fast because I want to get it down to 10-15 minute YouTube videos. Up as of now, most of the stuff on the channel is going to be streaming, which means long form, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. And, you know, then I can talk longer, and it's a great excuse because it's like, honey, I'm not playing computer games, I'm creating internet content, right? So that's what we're doing, but just a little sneak preview of things which we also have on this machine. So, Carmen is Where in the World is Carmen San Diego? Civ is Civilization 1, TBS, turn-based strategy. That's going to be more than a 30 or a 60-minute video. That's going to be a long video. Incremac is The Incredible Machines. Lemmings, I think I'm going to pick Lemmings for my first real gaming stream. Oregon Trail. Populous and Populous 2 are real-time strategy games. Prince of Persia, Rogue, like the original Rogue, Netlight. SC is the original SimCity. We have SimAnt, we have SimCity 2000. All of these work, and I've downloaded some more. I think the thing is going to be classic, crucial games, things like, you know, Lemmings, Oregon Trail, which you just have to have seen. More like strategy games, because I like those. Civilization is a nice one, it's nice and slow because of turn-based, and then real-time strategy. Populous was a very early one which I played. Populous 2 is the improved version, but we're also going to go back to the roots, man, where real-time RTS, real-time strategy started, for me at least, was Dune 2, which was followed then by Warcraft, the first Warcraft, which ultimately led to StarCraft and World of Warcraft and all of that good stuff. So as you can see, we have mountains of content available, hours and hours of streaming, not that many pixels, like the highest res which I'm running here probably is going to be 1024 by 768, which is like a pretty poor thing, but that's the situation. And with that, let's go just to have a quick look, Lem, to show you that it's really here, and I actually have to tell the thing that it's a VGA card and what it's for. Whoa, that was bad. That's wrong. Right, so this is Lemming, but it's not supposed to look like this. Wait a minute, I must have entered something wrong. Yeah, oh, it's because I picked one. That was CGA. Ooh, frightening. Ooh, that's an interesting experiment that we go to VGA, where I selected option 1 instead of option 4. So let's select VGA. Yeah. There we go. That's what Lemming's supposed to look like. Who remembers the Lemmings? And it's got the sound as well, I believe. And if not, we're going to make it work. So, with that, and there's no way to get out. Oh, no, there is a way to get out of this game. So, escape, escape, escape. We're back in DOS. With that, I'm going to switch over to the other view. Hello! Now I'm on the streaming laptop. Now I'm on the stream laptop with the correct camera. And with this leaves me to let you know that... what can I say? I could please ask you to like, share, and subscribe. Remember to tell your friends to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Loserbum. You're all about Bloody Legends. This is the start of a streaming career, which will be pretty irregular, but we're going to go streaming. You're all a bunch of Bloody Legends. I'm Loserbum, and I'm out of here, which is less elegant.